G'day YouTube. I've got a haul for you to show you today, which is from EB Games Australia. I went there this morning to pick up the new 3DS and the brand new Pokemon games. I haven't actually done a haul video before, but I thought I'd give this one a bit of a go because it's, Pokemon themed and it's Nintendo console themed, and it's a bit unusual to get this much stuff at once, so here we go. Alrighty, so what did we pick up this morning? So of course, I got both Pokemon Omega Ruby, I should say, and Alpha Sapphire. I picked up a $30 Nintendo eShop card. EB actually were fantastic. They did great prices on all these things. And the reason I picked this one up is because they were doing 20% off these eShop cards. So I'm going to use this to buy some themes on the eShop and a couple of virtual console games. I also picked up the new Nintendo 3DS, and like I discussed in a previous video, I just picked up the standard 3DS version. In Australia, the RRP is, or recommended retail price, is $219, but EB did come down on that one, down to about $200, which is nice. I also picked up two of the cover plates. I picked up the mushroom version because I really like this top plate here. I may not actually use this one. We'll have a look at that on the device shortly. And the second one I picked up, which was quite a lot more expensive, is this wooden version. This is actually, I'm not exactly sure yet, so we'll open this and have a look, but I believe this top part is made of wood and the back part here is actually plastic, but we'll have a look at that. You can see here in Australia, the wooden cover plate was charged out at $39.95, which is pretty expensive for what it is, and the standard cover plates are charged out at $17.95. So I'll have a look at both of those in a minute, and some of you guys might be curious about how this wood one actually looks in the flesh and on the device. I think the colour with that and white will look quite nice. I also got, because I pre-ordered Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they came with a pre-order bonus, which is these two figures here. So we'll open those up and have a look. You can actually see on the back what they look like. I'm not sure what the quality is going to be like, but apparently these were pretty hard to come by. They sold out fairly quickly. So yeah, that basically made up my haul today. And before today, I also purchased a screen protector off eBay, just from an Australian seller, just to be prepared, because I do put screen protectors on all of my electronic equipment because I'm really paranoid about scratches on screens. And I also picked up from another Australian online store a 32GB micro SD card. Just to replace, I think it comes with a 4GB one in the console, but 4GB these days, even for a Nintendo console, isn't enough room really. So we'll kick off with the Pokemon games because there's pretty much not much to those, and everyone pretty much knows what you're getting. I must admit, I don't understand, I was talking to people in store about this, I don't understand why these days people would buy online games, why they would buy like electronic or eShop games when you can get the cartridge for generally a cheaper price. Like for example, in Australia, I paid $44 for both of these, or per game, and on the Nintendo eShop in Australia, I believe they charge $59.95. And at least with the physical copy, you get a nice case to put on your shelf. You get the cartridge, and you can resell it if you decide that you no longer want to play the game. And I mean, I like collecting these cartridges. I mean, that's part of the appeal for me as an adult collector and an adult player. But anyway, obviously there's a reason. It's probably more convenient to have a 3DS with all your games just on the 3DS rather than carting around a whole bunch of cartridges. But anyway, the nostalgia in me will always prefer a physical cartridge over an eShop. But you can see here, both of these will be the same. Okay, you can see here that it's got the AUS, so these ones here are printed in Australia, and both of these games are going to be exactly the same. I'm probably going to give the Omega Ruby a go first, and then I normally play both. I normally play one all the way through, and then once I've worked out exactly which Pokemon I like and how I'd like to play the game, I normally play the second version again, and the second version is the one where I normally collect a lot more Pokemon and do it a bit more seriously. Alright, so let's open these little figures up. Just tear right there. So there you go. Just a plastic little figure there. As you can see from my hands, it's not huge, but it's actually quite nicely detailed. I must admit, I never actually played Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. It was sort of just after my time as a kid, so I don't actually know the names of these characters, but I'm sure as I play this game, that will become fairly apparent. So that's the first one there. Oh, actually, I say I don't know the names, and I'm just looking at the packet there. You can see the names. It says that one there is Primal Groudon, just there, and it says this blue one is Primal Kyogre. Probably just horribly pronounced that, but anyway, this is the second figure. This one actually looks really nice. I quite like the design. This looks like a cross between a whale and a bird. Unusual combination, but anyway, I quite like the look of this figure. These aren't very heavy. They feel quite cheap and just like a standard PVC plastic figure, but they're quite nice designs. I'm sure a lot of these will make their way onto eBay at some point, but I'll keep mine with the game. So we'll open the system next. Oh well, no tags on the system. So basically get straight into it. And there's a few other people on eBay have commented, like Blunty and Vooks here in Australia. This box is tiny compared to the original 3DS, even the 3DS XL box. There's barely anything to it. And similar to Japan now, Australia isn't getting the charger in the actual box anymore, which I think, I can understand why Nintendo's made that decision. Like, you know, a lot of people who have this, who would want this device, are going to already have 3DS chargers, but a lot of parents are probably going to buy these as new Christmas presents for their kids, and on Christmas Day they're going to go, you know, here little Johnny, here's a brand new 3DS. Oh, well, we've got no way to charge this until Boxing Day the next day, so sorry, you've got an awesome Christmas present, but as soon as your battery runs out, well, you can't play it until the next day, until we can go and buy one. Hopefully in store, a lot of the store people will advise people, like for example, when I went into EB and picked all this up, they did tell me that I did need a charger to go with this. I mean, obviously I have plenty of chargers, but I wonder in the main department stores whether the staff there will say the same thing. Anyway, a bit of a side rant there. You can see here we've got a quick start guide and the AR cards. These actual consoles, for the first time in Australia, they don't come with any eShop, not eShop points, Club Nintendo points. They don't come with Club Nintendo points anymore, which I find a little bit unusual. It's a bit disappointing, but you know, that's life in Australia here. Our Club Nintendo points don't actually do a whole lot for us. Once in a blue moon, Club Nintendo Australia, you get a really awesome free gift, but that is very rare. And there's one of the faceplates. That's quite interesting that they've left it off to begin with. And now for the system. So maybe anyway, I'll open this up first, and then I'll start talking rubbish. Yeah, that's what I thought. I kind of wondered, have they left it off deliberately to sort of, you know, force you to put it on and get a bit into the habit of doing that? Well, there you go. It's actually quite hard to show this on camera here, but this isn't actually white. To me, it actually looks more like a beige white, almost like your old computer systems, or like the original Nintendo, which weren't white. They were like that beige original computer design. Well, that hinge feels very nice. Nice and solid. Wow, that is very solid. You know, I don't know how many reviewers will comment on this, but one thing I absolutely dislike about the 3DS XL is that this hinge, like if I'm lying down in bed like this, the top hinge will flap around. That hinge, it's not 100% solid, but that is not moving. For anyone who cares about that sort of thing, like I have bad OCD with this sort of stuff, but that hinge, it's not actually focusing there, but that hinge is solid. Nice work, Nintendo. You finally, you know, 7 generations in, you've finally worked out the hinge. I mean, taking a look around, this is sad, isn't it? One of the primary reasons why I wanted this console more so than the XL, other than portability, which, you know, isn't a big deal for an adult collector who carries a bag everywhere, is these buttons. I mean, look at that. Just something as nostalgic as that, really just, I look at that and just, I'm happy to use the system. Just weird things like that. I find it unusual, they've moved the game cartridge here to the front. They've also moved the volume up on the side here. I mean, all this sort of stuff they've done has probably cut costs slightly. You can see, you know, here comes my OCD again. You can see on the front of my console here, there's a little bit of unevenness in the join there, but in the mold, that's probably the molding actually. But all in all, very happy. Let's quickly put this cover plate on. I'm assuming that just pops in there. Yep, easy as. Alrighty, probably should power it up, shouldn't we? See if it's got any charge in it. Where's the power button? There it is. There we go. It says it's got a charge. It's actually not very heavy. I mean, I've been using a 3DS XL for quite a while now, but that's really nice. I quite like that. It's really weird as well. It's the texture on this. While that's powering up, the texture on this. Oh, that powered up quite quickly, didn't it? Turn that volume off. Oh, that was interesting as well. If you can hear that, it's this volume button now, like the 3D slider, has a click at the bottom. So it doesn't slide up and down, which mine did quite a bit. If you pulled it out or of its case or you moved it around, you'd accidentally push the volume right up to the top. But one thing I quickly want to say is this texture, it's not smooth. It's like you can probably see it's not picking up fingerprints, which is nice. It's more of like it almost feels rubbery, but not totally rubbery. It's nice. It feels really nice in the hand. I'm impressed. Anyway, we'll quickly move on so this video doesn't go forever. Why don't we look at the one which probably everyone is interested in, which is the wood case. And there's some tears in the side here. Do we care what it looks like? Yeah, I was just wondering whether or not I should care whether I break it. Oh, there you go. You're supposed to pop it up. Follow the instructions, Adam. That should work. And pop it on the other side. All right. Now let's have a look and see if this is actually wood or not. So this is the bottom plate. Now you can see on the back here, the back half here is, I mean that's definitely plastic, and you can, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to focus on this on camera, but there's a seal here between this brown plastic and this top section, which it does feel like wood. It's really hard to describe it. Maybe it's a thin layer of bamboo that's been etched, and you can feel the etching of all of these different patterns here. If I move on to get the top plate, which looks really nice, get a bit of a focus going there. It feels really nice. It's unusual texture. I quite like it anyway. So we'll quickly pop this one off. Thanks to a Vooks video. Don't have to look at the instructions, just pop that up, nice and easy. And pop this one down. And I think that's quite nice, you know, you've got the nice beige with the natural wood. Well, that really changes the texture of the actual device. So I imagine when you put this one on, it's going to feel completely, a bit weird. I don't know if I like that, but I do like the look. I'm not going to put the bottom one on now because unfortunately it doesn't come with a little screwdriver to take this one off, and I don't have one here with me, so I'll put that to the side. And why not? While we're here, we'll very quickly open this one here, because this one really captured my attention. My favorite Nintendo character, you know, excluding Pokemon, is the Toad. Every time there's a Mario game or any game where there's a character selection, I always pick Toad because I think I just really like that character, a bit of an underdog. And yeah, even though this feels nice and it's a bit more luxurious, I suppose. I mean, I put that on and bang, that just looks awesome. That's one thing you might be able to tell is these cover plates are glossy plastic, which may or may not show fingerprints. It makes the system again feel very different to this one here. Isn't glossy, this faceplate. So you've got, this is a matte texture, then you've got glossy, and then you've got this wood. I suppose it is wood texture, isn't it? So. But there you go. Next thing for me to do now is put my screen protectors on, which I'll do off screen. I've got a whole process doing that to try and make it bubble free and dust free. I'll chuck my SD card in, and then I've got to do a transfer from my Pikachu 3DS XL. And the last thing I'll say, which I'm a bit unhappy about, is I read the other day, I think it was in a Blunty video, that he said that, and I confirmed this on Nintendo's website. Once you've transferred from your 3DS XL to a new 3DS, there's no way, you can't go back. Which, you know, I mean, you might think, oh, big deal, whatever, but I'm the sort of guy, I have a Pikachu 3DS XL, as some of you may know, and I really love that console, and it's kind of one of those things, once I transfer onto the new system, I mean, I may not ever use the old system again, and it will be relegated to my, you know, sort of my collectible relic history type cabinet, which it feels a bit too early for that one to be retired. But anyway, I'm off on a ramble now. Thank you very much for watching. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. I think that Australian retailers, one last thing, more rambling, Australian retailers have done a very good pricing on all of this at the moment. EB in particular, they were fantastic. They put all of this aside the day before for me, and they let me know what stock levels were like. Just very quickly, they only got one each of, my local EB only got one each of the faceplates. So they only got one wood faceplate, one of this faceplate. They got a couple of multiples of like the Mario, things like that. They sold out completely of the standard 3DS XL. They only had pre-orders for those, but they had a lot of 3DS XLs available for sale. And as I mentioned, they had completely sold out of this pre-order bonus. In any case, thank you very much for watching this extended video. Any questions, please shout out and let me know. I'll try and answer those in the comments. And thanks for watching, and bye for now.